I'd now like to invite Morten Lero, who's the Managing Director of the DNV Maritime Advisory Division, onto the stage. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you to the Maritime Standard for inviting me to speak today. So over the next 5 minutes, I will give you a snapshot of some of the things that we are working on in DNV when it comes to the space of decarbonization. I will also address some of the key but challenging points and questions that we get from the industry these days. So we see that regulations, technologies, and fuel production are developing, and this has a large impact on decisions that has to be made by us in the industry, all of us, right now and also in the future. We see that regulations are developing. We see that well-to-wake considerations are taken into account into rules and regulations. We see that alternative fuels and alternative technologies for energy efficiency is being continuously developed, and there is a huge need in the industry to get assertion and confirmation of the effect of the various measures that are out there and being offered. So in DNV we are committed to support the transition to a decarbonized future. In our maritime forecast to 2050, we are addressing the impact of the latest regulatory decisions, how ecosystems for carbon neutral fuels will develop and make a change for the industry. And we are also exploring selected energy efficiency technologies. On our Alternative Fuels Insights portal, then you can find the statistics for the fleet on the various ship segments. And you can also see their availability and readiness of alternative fuel infrastructure around the world. We also see that collaboration is really a key to make the transition that is necessary and that we as an industry have to face. And we are involved in various joint industry projects. We are involved in various public and private, combined public-private initiatives, like Green Shipping Program in Norway. We are involved in the Global Center for Maritime Decarbonization in Singapore, and also with the UAE Decarbonization, where you see a picture from a signing ceremony on that on the slide. So then over to some of the key questions that we get from the industry these days and how to address them. So one typical question is, how can we make decisions in the current landscape? Well, first of all, it's about making a fuel strategy that is fit for purpose for your vessels, for your fleet. It's about considering if going for monofuel, going for dual fuel with maybe methanol, with ammonia, LNG, and then have a look into how that strategy fits into the carbon intensity trajectories and the requirements that will come over time for that. Then also have a look at the various fuel and CO2 price scenarios that we can model for the future. Of course, uncertainties, but based on the information and the knowledge that we have at the moment. And then collecting these things, collect the results from these assessments, both in terms of costs, price, and also, of course, also then the emissions that will follow from the choice of the fuel strategy that you go for. Another question that we receive often is, of course, also, what are our options now? What is readily available for me and for my fleet? And if we look at alternative fuels, of course, choice of fuel is really, to a large extent, dependent on where in the world are you trading, Are you tramping on spot, or are you having a time charter? Are you having availability of the various, or do you foresee availability in the near future or in the further future for the various fuel options? But we also see that there are quite a few projects now investigating how to harvest from the surroundings, like for instance use of sails. I mean, sail is an old technology coming back, and then various projects also for tankers exploring the effect of sails. And we also see some promising results for that technology for tankers. Then considering the fact that 98% of the world fleet is actually running on conventional fuel at the moment, we believe that carbon capture on board might be a valuable or viable solution in the future if the technology is coming in place and if the infrastructure is ready to receive the CO2. But regardless of choice of fuels, choice of energy source, and choice of after-treatment measurements, we strongly believe that reducing the energy consumption and energy efficiency measures will still be a quite important part of the solution, particularly in the near future. A lot of measures are already in place in the modern fleet and then the vessels that, and the specs that you receive from the shipyards. But there are also interesting new developments in this space. We have, for instance, air lubrication that has shown promising results for quite a few segments and quite a few sizes of tankers as well. And there are also other aspects, both talking about hydrodynamic efficiency gains and also various solutions for the machinery space. So this is an area we believe that is important to pay attention to right now and in the future. Of course, the effect will vary very much depending on what kind of ship you have and speeds and so on. So that has to be looked into for every specific case. Then this is just a high-level assessment on the impact on various fuel choices for a modern Aframax tanker related to CII performance. So you see the various trajectory curves A to E, and then you see the horizontal curves indicating various options of fuel. So the base case, the upper curve, the blue one, as a reference curve. And then you see, for instance, if you choose methanol or LNG, the blue and yellow horizontal line. And also interesting to see then, for instance, if you choose a 30% blend-in of biofuels, where that will take you, and the time horizon that you can kind of be home free with such a solution. And then you see the more zero carbon fuels on the lower side of the chart, of course. Then, last but not least, I would like to also address the more kind of technical decarbonization measures that is out there. And we have established an abatement insight database that we're using for various purposes. We look at various energy efficiency measures. We look at alternative fuel price projections and also alternative fuel technologies. And basically, we are collecting then information based on data from on board. We are collecting insight from assessment and analysis, numerical and technological analysis. And we put this into a database where we can use this in order to get kind of an assurance on the effect of the various measures that you can choose from. So we use basically this database to predict and verify the effect of technical and operational measures for decarbonization. And then with focus on how accurate is it possible to predict. And then, of course, it varies from ship type to ship type and size to size and technology to technology, of course, as well. So with that, I would like to thank you for your attention. Thank you.